Pikiranku tuh biasa Ji, pagi-pagi pergi masih ada di rumahnya orang minum.
Jangan.
Ladies and gentlemen, before beginning the webinar, I will read the webinar rules. The first rule is participants are requested to activate the camera. Second, participants are advised to turn off the microphone while the event is in progress, unless necessary. Third, participants are required to use the virtual background distributed by Kami. Fourth, participants must fill in the attendance sheet distributed by the Kami. Fifth, participants wear the neat clothes. Thank you for your kind cooperative and attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let's thank the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us some mercies and blessings so that we can attend this agenda without any troubles and obstacles. Secondly, salawat and salam may always be given to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness to the lightness. And I'd like to thank you to our lecturer in speaking for academic purpose, Ma'am Karisma Naidi Wardana S, MPD, and our speaker today, Yasmin Amalia Resmaya, and respectable all participants of this webinar. Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Rahma Atika Jafar, will be your master of ceremony on this afternoon. Welcome to our webinar today, Strategies for Developing Soft Skills and Student Digital Literacy in the Learning Process in the Classroom. We would like to thank everyone here for making time to attend this remarkable webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, allow me to introduce you about the agenda today. The first agenda is opening. Let's open our agenda today by pray to our God depends on our religion. The pray begin. The second agenda is sing Indonesia Raya and Sang Surya Song. The next agenda would be a welcoming speech. Allow us to invite Retno Aulia as the head of committee to deliver her welcome remark. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm so sorry because I get the trouble. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let's pray and thanks into our God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us the mercies and blessing so we can attend this webinar in the good condition and happy situation. Secondly, my prayers and peace always be upon the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who had guided us from the darkness to the brightness. I don't forget to say thank you very much to the MC who have given me space to speak in front of you all. And also, I want to say thank you to my team because with your cooperation, all this webinar even can be helped. The Honorable Mrs. Karismana Diwananda, MPD, as the lecturer, who give us the opportunity to help this webinar. The Honorable Yasmin Amalia Resmaya as the speaker, and the Honorable all the participants who come in this webinar with the theme Strategy for Developing Student Digital Literacy in the Learning Process in the Classroom. I think it's interesting topic that we'll learn today because we know that education is related with the high technology. Being student at the highest level university, it means that we are students who have surpassed developed way of thinking and analyzing with increased digital literacy. We can find any information, explore everything just by gadget in our hands. This shows us the importance of soft skill student and digital literacy in learning process, especially in the classroom. Through this webinar, we hope the material that speaker deliver will be able to increase the insight and knowledge for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of my welcoming speech today, and I do apologize if I said something wrong. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much to Retno Aulia for your delightful speech. Ladies and gentlemen, now we proceed to the webinar agenda. This presentation will be delivered by Yasmin Amalia Resmaya, and also this agenda will be guided by Rosiana Dwi Riyadini as the moderator. And Rosiana Dwi Riyadini, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ansi, for giving me time. Honorable, our lecturer in speaking for academic purpose, named Karisma Najwardana as MPD. Honorable Ruknur Aulia as head of Community. Honorable Yasmin Amalia Resmaya as a speaker, and all the participants who have joined this webinar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Rosiana Dwiyadini as a moderator who will guide the course of this webinar with the title Strategy for Developing Soft Skills and Student Digital Literacy in the Learning Process in the Classroom. Before starting, let me deliver the rules in this webinar again. First, participants are requested to activate the camera if there is no connection problem. Second, during the webinar, participants are requested to turn off the microphone. Third, participants must use the virtual background that has been distributed by Commit. Fourth, participants must fill in the attendance sheet distributed by Commit, and the last, participants wear new clothes. Before the speaker delivers the material, I will give a brief introduction regarding the material. Material will be titled Strategy for Developing Soft Skills and Student Digital Literacy in the Learning Process in the Classroom is about how important soft skills and digital literacy must be mastered by students today. In the world of education today, utilizing high technology to be used in the learning media. As students, we must learn this so that we can apply it in the classroom or in the future. Next, we invited our speakers today. Yasmin Amalia Resmaya, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for Rosiana who has introduced me. And in this webinar, I want to explain about strategy for developing soft skills and student digital literacy in the learning process in the classroom. So let's go. So in this era, many skills are needed in order to succeed in the workplace. One of them is soft skills. Soft skills are essential to success in the workplace, especially in the roles where we work on a team or to interact with customers frequently. So, what is soft skill actually? So, the definition of soft skills are abilities that relate to how you work and interact with other people, or it can be the combination of people skills, social skills, communication skills, emotional intelligence, and personality traits that make it easy to get along and work harmoniously with other people. Okay, next. Okay, I believe that all of you have ever heard about hard skill and soft skill. Well, soft skills are different from hard skills, which are directly relevant to the job for which you are applying. Hard skills are often more quantifiable and easier to learn than soft skills. As we can see in the picture, that hard skills are teachable abilities or skill sets that are easy to quantify. The example like proficiency in a foreign language, typing speed, certificate, mission operation, or computer programming. While soft skills, also known as people skills or interpersonal skills. The example like communication, flexibility, leadership, teamwork, and also time management. Okay, next slide. So here are the other examples of soft skills, which are personal attributes needed for success in the job. Time management, networking, teamwork, creative thinking, and conflict resolutions. Okay, next is why soft skills are needed for students. Well, during their studies, students are preparing for their future professional roles. So the reason is it is important for their future professional roles, like the roles of experts in their chosen fields. And next, and the aim is to prepare students for their chosen professional career during their studies. Okay, so here are the 4 ways or strategy to develop student soft skills. They are use group projects. The second is cultivate empathy. And the third is practice and receiving feedback. And the last is using project-based learning. Okay, so the first way to teach students how to develop their soft skill, we can use group project. Well, in group project, it can include a lot of soft skills. They are like teamwork. Well, teamwork skills include in a mix of interactive, interpersonal, problem solving, and communication skills needed by a group of people working on a common task toward a common goal. So by giving the students group project, we are expected that the students will get the interactive, interpersonal, problem solving, and also communication skills in doing their group project. So like the example, like the offline, we can assign in class time to research a topic and present it as a group. So we can give the students a task. The students can work in their team about how to solve it, about how to make it able to be presented in a group, and then they presented it in front of the class. And the online, students can still be responsible for scheduling their Zoom meetings, during which they can work together to conduct research or create a group PowerPoint presentation. So it's quite similar with offline, but in this online session, the teacher can give the students like group project in the first meeting, and the second meeting, the teacher asks the students to present it as a group. So the students have a time to solve it before they present it in next meeting. Okay, next to the next slide. Okay, the second is cultivate empathy. Well, empathy is the ability to identify with another person by sharing their perspective and their feelings. So this soft skills is commonly valued in the helping professions like counseling and social work. But it also can bring a great value to teams in all professions by helping develop friendship and trust. So we can create a way to make the students raise their empathy, to improve their empathy to their other friends, because in workplace, we all know that this soft skills is quite used in workplace. So in offline, we can do this by assign a reading and have students to pair up to discuss their feelings. They can present their thoughts, their thing in a group discussion, or summarize their discussion in written report. So the teacher can make a small group consist of 2 or 3 people, because if we ask the students to present it in front of, I believe it will create an anxiety. So we can just ask the students to create a small group, and we can ask them to share about their opinion, to share their empathy to each other. So in the online, the students could complete a video assignment, then pair up using video conferencing tools to discuss their feelings on the topic. So we can give the topic, and the students are we able to think, what am I thinking about this topic? Like we can give students a case or a problem, then students analyze and they share their empathy, their thoughts, their suggestion to each other. Okay, for the next. Okay, the third is practice and receiving feedback. Well, according to 2017 analysis by the Wall Street Journal, US, colleges are falling short when it comes to teaching students critical thinking skills like assessing evidence, interpreting data, and making cohesive arguments. Peer review and peer-to-peer feedback can be an effective way to help students develop those skills. Plus, it increases students' engagement and help them to see the relevancy of what they are doing. Important concepts for today's 21st century students. So it's quite similar with the first, but in the first it's about the empathy, and now we comes to giving and receiving feedback. So the students are expected to share what they thought, what they solution about a certain problem and how to apply it. There are 2 tips. The first is set expectation. It's about helping, not judging. So the teacher remind the students about the suggestion that about the feedback, about the suggestion they give. It must be helpful and useful, not to judge the person who are being given feedback. And the second is moderate feedback to ensure it remains fair and helpful. It's quite similar with the first. Start with a small, short assignment like the introduction to an essay or to an assessment worksheet. Okay. Okay, and the 4th way is the project-based learning. Well, I believe that all of you and I believe that all of us have known about what is project-based learning, because in our current curriculum, this type of learning, this method of learning is always been repeated by our government, by our teacher. Well, project-based learning is making a project both individually or in a group to create a big project. Well, and for in these soft skills, in this case, I suggest that project-based learning should be done by a group project, so not individually. So like in this example in offline class, we can create a group project for bigger credit. We can put students in a chart of project management, planning deadlines, and completing the actual work, determining following up assignment, and the others. And in online classes, it's the same. We can conduct similar assignment where students use video system and other technology to connect with each other. See research and presents in addition to listening, watching videos, or reading. So I believe that that students are able to use like video conference like Zoom. So the students in creating a group project, we not ask them to meet in person. They just can using video, using Zoom to complete their group project. And I believe that it's quite helpful, and it also can develop their digital literacy also by using the technologies to complete their project. Okay, I think that's all from the soft skill, and the next we come to digital literacy meaning. Okay, so what is digital literacy definition is, or what is literacy? So from the screen that you can see, literacy means the ability to read and write. That's the basic definition of literacy. But by time, it developed to the ability to read, write, speak, and listen in a way that lets us communicate effectively and make sense of the world. And the third definition about it, literacy is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and compute using printed and written materials associated with varying contexts. And when we add digital with literacy together, it will create a meaning that digital literacy is the ability and skill to find, evaluate, utilize, share, and create content using information technologies and the internet. Okay, for the next. Okay, so why digital literacy is important for students. Okay, and here are the 5 reasons why it is very important for students to learn by students. Well, I think it's quite similar with literacy in general, but in digital, the first is to support educational progress. And one of the first reasons digital literacy is important is because the increased use of technology in education. The use of technology as learning tools has grown in the past 15 years. I'm sorry. Students with digital literacy skills will be more comfortable and confident in these learning platforms, while those who without digital literacy skills may have their progress timed by inability to or a lack of confidence in navigating the related technologies. So the second is to increase online safety. Well, we all know that online risks are complex and ever-changing, with various individuals or groups continually discovering and creating new ways to take advantage of others. So, well, digital literacy cannot prevent students from facing safety challenges online, but it can empower them with important knowledge, tools, and processes and resources to help protect their safety and privacy as much as possible. And the third is understand digital responsibility. Well, along with online safety, digital literacy also teaches digital responsibility, which is the ability to consume and communicate information ethically online. Increased technology dependence exposes students to challenges related to copyright and plagiarism, cyberbullying, vetting informational resources, and interacting responsibly with others. Digital literacy skills help students master their ability to understand and effectively navigate these challenges, making them more responsible digital citizens. Okay, and the fourth is improve digital equity. Digital equity also helps to bridge the digital divide. Even with of technology in households and education institutions, there are remains of disproportionate number of minority workers with limited digital literacy skills. Okay, and the last is support lifelong skills. While technology is ever-changing, digital literacy foundations empower students with base knowledge and skills that can be applied to various types of technology now as well as in the future. For instance, learning basic concepts such as input or output, application operation, discerning hardware devices and how to use them, and the others can provide basic transferable knowledge that can be applied to new and emerging technologies. Okay, we go to the next slide. Okay, there are 3 ways to develop students' digital literacy. The first is use interactive technology, website, or application. Well, I believe that all of us have known about technology in this era. Many technologies advantage in the classroom comes from stirring up interest and engagement from students that might otherwise be passive in their learning. Interactive technologies provide such a great flexibility in how students choose to learn and allow teachers access to direct feedback as they keep tabs on students' progress. So the teacher can use many can use some technologies, website application in their learning. So we are not using Blackboard anymore, but we can use the technology that have available. And the second is provide supplementary materials online. Well, currently, any information is not only obtained from books, but also from the internet. Well, in this way, teachers can find relevant sources from the internet, both visual and audio materials, and provide them to students, and provide the materials from online to the students. Well, the teacher doesn't have to print the material. The teacher just give the sources by displaying it in PowerPoint in PowerPoint, or sharing it through group chat. All right, we can usually use LMS. That's fine. Okay, and the last is take advantage of video. Well, we still hold some fun nostalgia for viewing a heavy TV in front of the classroom to play on old tapes. Modern class presentations have access to far more advanced methods of displaying video. And that's a great thing because the video is one of the most engaging medium available and gives your class visual learners a strong reference point to hold into as you progress through your coursework. Okay, next. Okay, here are the example of interactive media or tools like Kahoot and quizzes. The teacher can make a funny learning or a fun way to test the students by creating quiz in Kahoot and quizzes. And I believe that the feature that in both website is good and variative. And the second, we can use Zoom and Gmeet when we are not able to do face-to-face learning. And the third is Padlet and also Google Classroom. Okay, the next. Okay, and here are the source of materials online and video. Because we are in English department, the source of video that we can use as the learning materials to improve their digital literacy. As the example, I give the two, like first is VOA Learning English, and the second is Learn English with TV series. Because I found that those both channels are great to use in classroom progress. And the website, as the example, we can use the BBC Learning English, and the second we can use British Council. At that website, we can find a lot of materials, a lot of tests, a lot of sources that we can give it to the students. So the students doesn't have to print it, doesn't have to go to print the materials, but we can share the link, we can share the materials that have available in those websites. Or we can just ask the students to open the website to find what they search in, to find their materials or what they want to learn about English. Okay, next. All right. I think that's all my explanation. Thank you for listening to my explanation about how to develop digital literacy and also soft skills. I give it back to Rosiana.
Okay, thank you to the speaker. We have provided material that is very, very useful for us. Now, it's time for question and answer session to the following provision. For the Q&A session, we give participants the opportunity to ask questions to the speaker. Participants can write questions in the chat box by including the English, or participant can directly ask questions by activating my microphone and including their identity. All right, let's just start the Q&A session. I invited the audience to ask questions. Okay, here from Farida Rahmadani, we have some questions. Hello, I would like to ask question. How do you increase digital literacy to students in areas that do not yet have adequate facility? So how about the speaker?
Okay, well, I think that's a good question and also quite interesting. Well, I think there are 2 or 3 ways to solve it. Like the first, the school which have low facilities, they can cooperate with nearby schools regarding the use of facilities, so they can learn to the school nearby and ask them to borrow the facilities. And the second is the school can also ask the local government to ask for grants to build school facilities, because I believe that not all of school has great facilities, and I think that's the way to increase the facilities is by cooperate with the local government. And for the third solution, it is based on my experience. I try to teach in school which have low facilities. We can asking for the help or cooperation with the students who have good economic abilities, like the cell phones. I believe that not all of students, example like in elementary school, not all of them have good cell phones. So we can ask the students who have cell phones to create a group work. So the students who doesn't have cell phones with students who have cell phones, they can work together in a group. So students who don't have cell phones can group with those who have cell phones. So not only digital literacy, but also it can improve their soft skills like communication, teamwork, and those of it. Okay. Okay, and
okay, thank you for Yasmin Amalia. Okay, is that clear for Farida Rahmadani for the question or the answer? Okay, next to the second question. This from Dewi Utari and Eka Winanti. The question is, I would like to ask question, how to build student communication skills?
Okay, I would like to ask about how to build students' communication skills. Okay, based on my previous explanation, we can use various ways to improve their communication skills. And I believe that not only from one way, but from many ways. Like the first explanation, like we use the material that showcase conversation skills. So we can give the students the material which are content about communication aspects, and we can create a group work. I think that's a very, very great, because in group work, it's impossible that we do not communicate with each other. Okay, we can promote active listening also, because that's part of communication. And we can also create a group assignment, group project, group assignment also is great. And use every moment, and the last is use every moment as a teaching opportunity. So we, as a teacher, we can ask the students to communicate each other. So we as the teacher, we not only explain about the material, but also we communicate with the students. So create a great atmosphere between teacher and students. So the student doesn't feel anxiety when we are talking to them. So it's okay, just talk, just communicate. It's great for your communication skills. Okay, is that clear?
Okay, for the Dewi Utari and Eka Winanti, is that clear for the answer? Okay. Then we next for the third question from Putri Ayudhya and Mawar Adelia. I would like to ask question, how important networking to achieve success in work?
Well, okay. Well, why networking is important and it's part of soft skills. Well, networking is essentially since it would help us to develop and improve our skill set. Stay on top on latest trends in our industry, keep a pulse on the job market, meet prospective mentors, partners, and clients, and gain access to necessary resources that will foster our career and development. So, by networking in short way, it can open doors to new opportunities that might be out of reach. Plus, a strong professional relationship can inspire someone to hand deliver our future, our career. So I believe that students can learn networking, like maybe in project-based learning, because in project we create a project which need cooperate with other people. Maybe the students create like from other people from the outside, so they are trying to network their connection, and I believe that very helpful for the future of students, because when they are have networking skills, and when they are taking a specific roles, students can create a good network. Okay, is that good enough?
Okay, from Putri Ayudhya and Mawar Adelia, is that enough for the answer? Okay, next in a fourth question, this is from Adam Adjatma. Hello there, I would like to ask a question. How do you know about the factor of digital literacy? Thank you.
Okay, for the next question is, how do I know about the factor of digital literacy? Well, like I said before, literacy is not only read and write, but also the ability to master the digital. So what I say literacy is, in Indonesia, we can say it's Kemalakan technology. So we are not, but I can say in Indonesia, we are not say terbelakang. I'm sorry if that's quite wrong. It means that we are able to use the technology, like the simple is cell phone. I believe that not all of people know how to use a cell phone, not used to the use of handphone. They are still confused. How about to use this? So that's why the factor of digital literacy, it means that we can master the literacy, the digital sources like internet, like laptop, like computers, like cell phone. And that's why as a teacher, we need to teach the students to master the digital resources. So, okay, so the digital literacy is not only we read, Not only we write, not only we listening, but also how we apply it in our daily life. Okay, is that okay? Is that clear enough?
Okay, from Adam, is that clear enough to answer your question? Okay. Next question is from Iplato. How to balance between soft skills and hard skills?
Okay, that's a pretty great questions. Okay, how about how we balance the soft skills and hard skill? Well, actually, both of those skills can be learned together or they can be learned separate. Like I said before, hard skills is quantified ability, the abilities that can be seen by our eyes, like before, like learning typing and learning learning to master specific languages. And when we are doing training to gain some specific hard skills, try to train our soft skills as well. Okay, when we are learning English, we are learning English language. I believe that when we are learning, we're not only listening to our teacher, we can ask our friends who are friendly in English, or we can create a group work. We can create a group which have a same purpose to fluently in English. So I suppose suggest to the teachers not only to speak in front of the class, but also create a variable projects. I believe that our teachers in class not only speak in front of the class, but also give us some kind of project, group work. We can take the benefits not only from hard skill. The hard skill, okay, all right. The hard skill is we are proficiency in English, but the soft skills we can get it also by when we are doing a group work. We can get the communicate, we can get the networking, we can get the flexibility skills by giving and receiving feedbacks. Okay, so the main point is try to take a great soft skills when we are learning hard skills, so they are balanced. Okay, is that clear enough?
Okay, for Plato, is that clear enough for answering your question? All right. Next, this is a question from Saidato for the last question for the closing this session. So the question is about the digital literacy. Is that part of learning process or just an ability?
Okay. So the question is that part of learning process or just an ability? So based on my opinion, the digital literacy is kind of an ability, but the ability of digital literacy, we cannot get it. We maybe can get it from the others, but as a teachers, we can in it to learning process. So when in learning process, we are not only deliver the material, but we are also teach students to literacy in digital world because all of us have experience. Okay. Because we are before we are having COVID-19 pandemic, it is us to master the digital resources. Well, that's great because that is the part of digital literacy. So we can enter the digital literacy in learning process. So the students are able to use the digital resources and not confused when we are faced to certain technology. Okay, is that clear enough?
Okay, for Saidato, is that clear enough? Answer for your question. Okay. Then thank you to the participant audience who have asked the question. I hope the answer can be useful for audience. Now it's time for the prize session. With the rules, participant please open Kahoot and IT and write down the code that is shown on the screen. And participant please write down the username according to the real name. Okay, participant please open Kahoot.it and write down the code that is shown on the screen. And participant please write down the username according to the real name. Okay, congratulations to all as the winner. For the prizes, please contact the committee concerned. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is program for the webinar with the title Strategy for Developing Soft Skills and Student Digital Literacy in the Learning Process in the Classroom. Before we end this session, I will conclude the result of the webinar. Students must explore the soft skills and hard skills that are really needed for the future, such as soft skills like time management, teamwork, creative thinking, and the others. And for the hard skill like proficiency in foreign language and computer programming and others. And with the changing time, high technology is really needed now. With education, will be more advanced in the future. So digital literacy really need to be developed now. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, we would like to thank for all the participants who have participated in this webinar activity. Finally, I'm Rosiana Duryadini as the moderator. Say goodbye and thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I return to the MC.
Okay, thanks for your time, Rosiana. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue to the last agenda, I urge you all to turn on your camera because we will be taking the documentation together. I hope for the participant who don't have any troubles with the connection, you can turn on your camera.
Okay, I will count to 3. All of you smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Once more. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, guys, thank you.
Okay, thanks for your time, Salsabila. Finally, come to the end of the agenda today. Let us close the webinar today by reciting Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Those are the agenda we have presented to you all on this afternoon. We hope you can learn something from this webinar. Thank you so much for your attention. I'm Rahma Atika Jafar. See you on the next occasion. Have a good day, everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.